Hey YouTube, Power Breaks coming at you with another Lego Megazord review. Today I will be reviewing Sedesu-ren-Oh, and this series is about space and is more encrypted into the Kyuger line with the new 2017 Super Sentai Kyuger. This is more of like that in a sense, and I really did enjoy building this thing. For one, there's a lot to cover for this line. We have morphers, weapons, multiple Zords. There's a whole bunch to cover, and I will be getting into all of that. And just one more thing to clarify to the people who have made recommendation builds, I will be building your things. What's the word? I can't remember the word. My English is kind of jacked up right now. But don't lose hope for me. I have you covered. It's coming. One of the guys, I can't remember your name, but you told me to make 5 Dragons of Elements. That's for my next line after this. So please look forward to that. It's not going to be the main mech. It's going to be the additional mech for the main Rangers. So look forward to that. And let's jump into it. So here for the first one, we have Sedesu Elephant, or the Sedesu Helicarrier, which carries all of the Zords here. Now, he has a very, very unique design. Indeed, he's a giant carrier ship, and he's blue, which is the primary body of the entire Zord. Instead of going with red, I chose to do blue for different reasons. It's something different, you know? So besides that, it's a really, really nice mech, and I do enjoy the way he looks. He's incredibly huge and heavy, and all in all, he's just a great looking toy. There's a whole bunch of posability you can get of him, so let's get into that now. For starters, we have the head, which just moves up and down, along with the trunk and the tusks, which are articulated. We have these little guns down here, these small little blasters that are articulated, along with his ears. They are movable. They are like satellite dishes. Okay, we have these little, I'm not sure what they're called. I guess you can call them hovers or propellers, whatever you want to call them. They're also articulated to a degree, along with these little wing gun thingies. And getting a little look at his face. Nice design indeed. Yes. I was just going for some kind of giant mothership, and we do have the Sedesu-ren-Oh here, which is this little circle cube. So circle, I almost said cube. But this little circle that has a little gem inside on it, and each and every one of these Zords is made with one, and they are I was going to say activation, if that's even a word, but they all activate the morpher, the Sedesu changer, to transform them into the Rangers. I'm terribly sorry I didn't do a box art for this. I really, really wanted to, but I just didn't feel like I needed to be so honest. For my next set, I will do box art, so look forward to that. And that's just about it for the elephant. Next up is the eagle, and eagle is a really interesting design for sure. He's more of a big block. He's oddly shaped, but then again, he does have his perks when it comes to being what he is, and he is piloted by the Red Ranger, which is a limb now, which is different. We don't really get that too often with the smaller red Zords these days. We mainly get a big red base body. Yeah, that's just about it for that, and we should move on to the further details. So for starters, the articulation we get here is the head simply on a ball joint, so it does get a sort of good articulation there. You get the full 360. The wings can move up and down, along with a full 360 rotation like that, because they are on a soft ratchet. The tail is articulated, but that is for transformation purposes, so it can't bend down. The feet are built inside of him right there, little toes, and that's pretty much it for the bird. Let's get a quick look at his face, and for those who don't know, his eyes are actually down there, that big blue visor, because if you know me well with my builds, and you know that I mainly put the eyes with these translucent Lego pieces, but therefore for this set it's actually under that. So that's it for next up is Rhino in all favor, which is my favorite one. Articulation is very limited with this guy, so we'll be jumping into that in a quick second. And I just love his overall design. He looks like a destruction tank, but he's a drill tank. But he looks definitely really cool with his design. I couldn't be more happier on the way he turned out. Other than that, there's not really much to cover for this dude besides him just being a rolling solid brick. So what he could do is roll on his treads. He can roll pretty well. His treads are immovable there. His drill can fold down, I guess, for more impact, but it doesn't rotate, so don't expect too much out of that. And that's pretty much it out of him. There's not really much to cover for him. I just like his design for some reason. I've never been a fan of like rhinos like this, especially like a block. But other than that, it's cool. So next up, we have the weakest side of the set, which is the Taurus. And I'm not a big fan of this guy. Then again, it still plays its part as a Zord, which I do admire. And then again, it's not my favorite builds. And I always have a lot of things that aren't my favorites, but I still let them pass because, I don't know, I just let it pass this time for some odd reason. But other than that, there's really nothing to cover. I don't even have to skip the scene to show its articulation. So you just get head movement, and that's the gist of it. You don't get anything else. This is removable too, like all the rest. But other than that, you're not gonna get anything else but a solid brick. Next is the Hammerhead, which is pinks, and this is another one of my favorites. Even though it is a block, I still enjoy that look of the Zord, I would say. Really not too much to cover for this either. Being simple with articulation, you just get head movement up and down on a ball joint, along with the fins being movable, and that's the gist of it. There's not really too much to cover for these guys, especially the limbs, because they're so limited to what they can do. Now, transformation is something different. First, you're just going to rip these off, and then you're going to open up the arms. The guns, and then you flip these in. Now next, whoops, I almost knocked over my camera, but next, what you're going to want to do is close in these, flip these up, come up to the head, and bring it all the way around and down, and the trunk will connect into these 4 pieces there. Once the connection process happens, you can flip up the tusks, and the ears will come forward like so. And if I can get a better camera angle, really quick, let's raise that. Okay, that should do it. Raising that, and oh gosh, it's not supposed to come off. But lifting that up like so, and rotating this all the way around. Here is your upper body of the mech. Next is red, which is quite simple. You're just gonna flip these down and rotate this way, and his head turns sideways like that, and there is his pink. Quite simple too, around the same thing. You just fold those down and rotate the head, and there is hers. Now we can move on to yellow and green, which are the legs. And green, you just flip that up, and then he's done. Flip up the horn and this up, and they are finished. Connection process is no hassle. You just simply connect these onto here, rotate around, and you get these little guns that we had on the elephant, and you simply just plug those in there, and they will give it a little more closure on the legs. And by raising up the camera, well, his face is really dark, but you just get red, and you plug that in, along with pink, plugging that in, if that fits correctly. There we go. Plugging that in. And another thing that he's capable of doing is for the eagle, you just open this up, and you get this giant arrow trident blade there. Quite simple, you know. It's just pretty much an arrow blade, what it looks like. Yeah, that's just about it for that. There's not really too much to cover for that being the only interchangeable weapon besides the drill on the rhinoceros. Now, that's just about it for that. When he's all merged up, he looks really, really nice all in all, he's this really big, solid, bulky figure that just looks like he has a massive amount of power and he's ready to destroy some baddies. I really did enjoy building this guy, especially this set. It took a while, but it was still a fun build. Well, actually, it didn't take too long because the set was actually it's been built for about 2 weeks now. I've just been waiting to review it because I've been waiting for the turntable to come. So now that it's here, I can just jump back into this. So yeah, there he is. Just looking all cool and badass. Articulation, get into that simply just turning that off instead of just skipping the seams. You know, I don't want to edit too much. But articulation, you just get the 360 rotating arms, and that's all you're gonna get. Now, for this line, the golden part about this is that all the limbs are interchangeable, and I will show you that in just a second. So here is Sedesu-ren-Oh with the swapped limbs. He still looks pretty epic nonetheless. I think I like this combo better than the original on how it looked, but it still is good nonetheless, and that's pretty much it for him. With all the other additional smaller mecha, you can switch around all the limbs. Besides that, that's just it for this review, and this is PowerBricks signing off.